hour of 9 on the AM side, 27th day in the month of October of 2025. And as the month is winding up to a close, as we look forward to November 1, which indeed is holding a story or a movement or a march, which is not going so down. With myself in particular, November 1 being the day that the NARD has announced an indefinite strike. And that is not a very nice and palatable news. But anyways, here we are. And we're keeping our fingers crossed and hoping that there will be some settlement. Just like we always have it outside courts, right? Between the NARD and the federal government. My name is Udwat Daniel.
And I am Omoefe Piso-Semer. It feels good to be back on here to talk politics and current affairs.
Right. And yes, we're looking at a topical issue today, and Tinubu sacking the CDS Musa, replacing him with Oluyede. These names I was discussing with Omoefe just off the microphone, saying, why are these names very, very similar? Kayode, Egbetokun, Oluyede, and then we have Oluyede again. I think this one is for the EFCC now.
Boss.
A lot of Edes and Yedes, but anyways, just being okay on a lighter note. But anyways, we will look into that topical issue, especially looking into the appointment and dismissal of service chiefs in Nigerian military, having become a recurring theme or in the country's politics. Recently we saw where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu sacked General Christopher Musa as the Chief of Defense Staff, CDS, replacing him with General Olufemi Oluyede. Now, this move has sparked discussions about reasons behind the change and its implication to national security.
Absolutely. Historically, changes in military leadership in Nigeria have often been driven by the need to address, mounting and very pressing security challenges, and also to improve the effectiveness of the armed forces.
Right.
Recall that in 2023, President Bola Tinubu approved the immediate retirement of all service chiefs, citing the need to reposition Nigeria's security leadership and also to strengthen the national security architecture. Now, the current change in military leadership comes amid ongoing security challenges in the country, including insurgency, banditry, secessionist unrest, and the new CDS General Olufemi Oluyede has been tasked with, strengthening the national security architecture and also improving the professionalism and vigilance of the armed forces for about a period of 2 years. It's just okay because only to shake up the cabinet, not necessarily because the former cabinet did not do well, in terms of fighting insurgency, but if there is need to further rejig the fight against insecurity, then why not?
Why not? If not, this move is part of efforts to strengthen national security architecture, improve the effectiveness of the armed forces, and you've mentioned that rightly. Now, there has also been some other new appointments, including Major General W. Shaibu as the new Chief of Army Staff, Air Vice Marshal S.K. Aneke as Chief of Air Staff, and Rear Admiral I. Abbas as the new Chief of Naval Staff. The Chief of Defense Intelligence, Major General EAP Undianyeye retains his position. All right. Well, we will connect with our guest now, who's in a person of
Comrade
Salihu Mahmood Dantata. Right now, he's a security expert, and he'll be adding his voice in the discourse this morning. Welcome aboard, Comrade.
Good morning, Udwa. Good morning, Efe. Glad to join you guys on Monday morning on national security.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, comrade. I mean, over the weekend, I personally saw how well you had to contribute your quota to this development across national television, and other platforms. It only goes to show how well you've carved a niche for yourself in terms of security analysis, and your commitment and dedication to the cause on here is one we don't take for granted.
That's right.
Let's just seize this opportunity to say a very big thank you to you for always obliging us whenever we call on you.
That's right.
Thank you very much, Efe. This is what we have to do. Legacy exceeds mediocrity.
Right.
And without security, we can achieve anything. That is why we devote our time, anytime, even if we are sleeping, to contribute to enhancement of security in Nigeria.
Absolutely. Now to the crux of the matter, comrade. I mean, the shake-up, in Nigeria's security space, it has actually been greeted with mixed reactions. I know that you had actually, earlier submitted that, the president is only exercising his constitutional powers, all right, to sack and to hire, or fire and hire, all right. But I don't know if this came to you as a surprise, and what implication would the appointment of General Oluyede, bring to the fight against, insecurity in Nigeria? And also, comrade, when you answer this question, there are other questions that I would like you to answer with regards to some rumors that have been making the rounds, very, very strong and controversial rumors. But let's start with this. Did this come to you as a surprise, and what impact or implication
Thank you very much, Efe. It never came to me as a surprise. Just like you laid in your anchoring, Mr. President, as President and Commander-in-Chief, has the constitutional responsibility and right to hire and fire any service chief, inspector general of police, heads of security agencies, and to extension, heads of paramilitary agencies. And honestly, we give him garlands and accolades for doing this, because this is to show that he's really in charge and he's not a rubber stamp president. Don't forget, under the late Muhammadu Buhari administration, service chiefs held that position as if they were elected, which is not. So that is to tell you, Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu who is active, he has devoted skill, is enterprising, and is watching. He's not just a sit-down-look president. So at this point in time, what he did is right. Outside the Chief of Army Staff, who got elevated to Chief of Defense Staff, others came new, even though they were holding their command positions before being appointed. And that is to tell you, not even at the higher echelons of the level of service chiefs, IG and others, it is also going to send warning to other heads of maybe command chains, maybe flag officer commanders, air officer commanders, general officer commanders, and others, that if you hold in position and you are not ready to do the needful, then you can be fired just the same way you were hired. So world over, no president and commander-in-chief, especially amid insecurity ranging from insurgency and armed banditry, fold his arms and watch for people to just fly siren as maybe service chiefs with incriminating insecurity every day. So I think we need at this point in time to give Mr. President thumb up. And it is going to further help in the fight against non-state actors from northeast, northwest, north central, and other parts of Nigeria, including on non-government, because it should be a policy of fire for fire, no mercy, and bullet for bullet. So, and I think the new service chief should also live up to expectation of Mr. President by doing the needful, periodically supervising and going around, not staying in Abuja, the federal capital, and bearing the name as service chiefs alone, because moving to nook and crannies where it's happening is what matters.
Okay. Do you think there were lapses under General Christopher Musa? I mean, before he took a bow, and just now that Oluyede is assuming office, do you think there are lessons he can actually learn from, General Christopher Musa to further enhance the fight against insecurity?
Well, in fairness, the immediate past Chief of Army Staff was a wonderful, combatant officer. He tried his best. Don't forget, there was a time Mr. President read riot act to them to move to Sokoto to ensure that they flush out the bandits. And they did. Under his watch, a lot of successes were recorded under Operation Fansa Yamma, Hadenkai, and host of others. Therefore, whether he's there or not, we give salute to the 4-star general. Forever, Nigerians are going to remember General CG Musa as a gallant, combatant, and non-nonsense Chief of Defense Staff. Don't forget, he said, no negotiation with non-state actors, that the military force exceeds the force of the non-state actors, no matter what they are going to do, that the troops at all times, even when the commanders are not giving them order, they should, at the sight of non-state actors, whether insurgents, whether armed bandits, to shoot. So that is how to be a Chief of Defense Staff. He's not there, we're going to remember him, then extending to even civil relations. He maintained a civil relation, because I was also part of a meeting of youth literacy and social empowerment program, even though he delegated it to Navy Commodore, where we were looking forward to ownership involvement, where we will be going around to enlighten people that are in these communities where these non-state actors are carrying out nefarious activities, to provide the security forces, particularly the members of the armed forces carrying out the onslaught, with privileged information of their movement, the markets they go, and also other things. So the whole thing I'm trying to say is stewardship was accompanied with success. But notwithstanding, nobody is 100% perfect. But let us look at the percentage of positivity. Therefore, we cannot call Chief of Defense Staff a failure. That is General C.J. Musa that was relieved of his appointment. And I believe Mr. President will not let him go. They can look for one political appointment and let him, because he's a man that made the military proud, that we got to know the military have intellectuals. He's in charge of eloquency, relations, and courtesy. He hosted quite a number of civil society and people who will forever remember General C.J. Musa. He was a combatant, 4-star general of the Nigerian Army.
Yeah, let me put it back to your thoughts. Let's take this call already. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Mr. Ayude. Good morning,
good morning
sir.
to you, please. What's your name?
And good morning, Haja. I greet your guest. My name is Fundu Tekibi from Karoka government. Yes, I want to quickly say something to your guest. That to the best of my knowledge, the service chiefs were not changed because the president wanted to reject the security architecture. They were changed because the president was afraid for his life. They were changed because there was rumors of coup. So let us differentiate the two. Ordinary, the service chiefs have not been able to finish, their tenures. Unlike the IG of police that have finished his tenure, he have retired, and the president, keeping him. Under Buhari too, he made Brutal the longest chief, serving, chief of army staff. But this time around, President Tinubu rejected his cabinet, not because he wants to reinforce the security architecture, but because he's afraid for his life.
Okay.
Because there was rumors of coup. So let us separate the two. Thank you.
All right. Turk can be right there, giving us 2 cents. I mean, you can also add your voice in the discourse already. 0907-353-0044. And the other number, 0908-766-8888. Getting back with our guest now, Kamber Saliu. You heard what the family member said. What are your thoughts on this, though? So
it doesn't lie on us to pronounce issues related to security.
Right.
Are you with me? Mm-hmm. Everybody know there was a rumored attempted coup, but that will amount to prejudice, that will amount to contempt, that will amount to trying to incite. So what that man did there is wrong. You see, people in security don't talk anyhow. Right. So for him to say this was the reason why the service chiefs were changed, it remains an allegation. He never put an allegation. He is not Minister of Defense. He is not National Security Advisor. He is not Chief of Defense Staff. He is not. So there are certain statements as members of the public we must guide. So far, the rumor remains, the attempted coup remains a rumor.
Okay.
Are you getting my point?
Right.
Until the state apparatus come to tell us with evidence. You see, when we say that, yes, it was because of the coup, do we know the names of the officers involved? Was it announced to us? It is when it is announced by the military authorities or security services. And he's trying to talk about the IGP and what have you. You see, like Erufai used to say, when you are minister, give, when we were at the Senate public hearing on FCT, he was telling the Senate committee chairman, later Senator, so then that when you are minister, give land to your enemy. because they were saying, why did you have to give land to your son or what have you? You work with people you know. Are you getting me? Egbetoko has been chief security officer to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as governor in Lagos State throughout the 8 years. Are you with me?
Yes.
He's a man you know. And you know police are custodians of internal security. So if this is not the first time, Burata and other states under Bahari, so Tinubu is not the first person. I'm not trying to hold breath, but where somebody is right, we will make comparison. I'm a northerner, I'm a Muslim. Tinubu is a Muslim, he's from Southwest, but the issues are, my own brother, General Muhammad Buhari of blessed memory, did the practice where he left service chief as if it was elective of which I did it in my opening. So we have no any outer of this to criticize that if he decides to say, and he did not just leave Egbetokun, he followed due process of the law. He went through the National Assembly where the law was amended. You are very much aware, Udwa.
Yes,
we follow things. I believe that man is not aware of that for saying that. So he went through the process of legislation. So if somebody went through the National Assembly, how do you call that illegality any longer? And already there are certain provisions where they are trying to make the tenure of IGs 5 years or what have you. So the issues I'm trying to say here is, let us not play politics with national security. Right. As an expert in that field, I will not come out to say there was a coup. They said rumor of attempted coup, right, and it's still under investigation. So it doesn't lie on us as citizens to preempt the federal government.
All right, we'll leave it at what it is until there is an official statement from an official source, as you've mentioned. But let's get back with the removal of the CDS, right? Quite a number of people have very, very much concerned, comrade. I mean, especially about the financial implications of the change in military leadership, particularly in terms of personnel cost and equipment procurement. I mean, there is also the implication that the new military leadership may need to prioritize resource allocation and ensure that funds are being used effectively to support military operations. What are your thoughts on this?
Soldier go, soldier come.
Right.
The military is regimented. That is why we call them the Defense Forces and Armed Forces. The change of Chief of Army Staff has nothing to do with the Army headquarters in terms of any financial implication, because already their budget is there, they have appropriated monies for them. So whether the Chief of Army Staff, if another one comes, it continues from where the other one stops. Same thing extends to Naval Air Force Headquarters Chief of Air Staff. Then already the Chief of Defense Intelligence retained his position. Exactly. So the issue is that they are regimented people, and already, don't forget, even under this administration, they have procured certain weapons and armaments for them. So the thing is, if these ones come and carry out inspection and what have you, the other things they also capacitate. It is not wrong. You see, the issue at this point in time, we have nothing to do than to take our security seriously, because with insecurity, the negativity it has had on us abroad, a lot of investors are not coming into the country. Today, how many investors will come and invest in Zamfara? How many investors will want to invest in Kaduna? How many investors will want to invest in Kwara, Niger, Borno, and other insurgent and armed bandit riding areas? So it is when there is security, people come from China, America, Germany, Japan, across the country to invest, that moves your internally generated revenue. It is when there is security that your content industries move ahead. Today, tell me how many industries are functioning in most of these insurgent and armed bandit riding areas. Even for small business people, they don't longer want to travel to this part of the country. So that is why for a serious president, you must prioritize it. So I'm not trying to say, because even when you change service chiefs, GOCs are there, Air Forces are there, AOCs are there, brigade commanders are there, all of others. But the new service chiefs too, I believe they will try to carry out internal restructuring because it is effective. Because there are also allegations of godfatherism, not using the most competent people in the battlefield, and also others.
Okay, comrade, since you are very optimistic, I mean, looking at the leadership, prowess of General Oluyede, could you please help the listener out there get sense of one thing that you think, is most likely going to stand him out from the previous, CDS officers that we've had in the country?
The Chief of Defense Staff, the new Chief of Defense Staff, General Oluyede, there are a lot of things that are going to stand him out, and I'm going to tell you part of them. The invasion of the Mahmuda terrorists in Kayama, Barutem, Kainji, and others, he never took time. He left all his tight schedules in Abuja to fly to Ilorin in Kwara State, where he met with the brigade commanders there in Sobi Barracks, the GOC 2nd Division, and gave a 1-month ultimatum to the Army Response Squad. And they were immediately dispatched. It gathered momentum. Later, intelligence gathering was enhanced by the DSS. Was the Mahmuda terrorist leader Abba, 33 years old, Abba from the Rhine, Katsina State, not apprehended? That is success. So he has a lot to bear that is bringing on board. That is for Lieutenant General Oluyede, that I believe is soon going to be decorated as general. The issues are, he has what it takes, he has the wherewithal, he's a combatant officer. The regular combatant officer, he was trained, he is an elite officer. So he's one man that takes timely intervention. He doesn't waste time. Then again, he has an open door policy because we've been watching his administration, even as Chief of Army Staff, where he never allowed issues to go without being attended to. Then he coordinates with his GOTs as if they are coordinating as rank mates and as position mates. And that is how it ought to be. When you are Chief of Army Staff, you should know what is happening in 82 Division, 2nd Division, 1 Division, 6th Division, and even 7th Division, Theater Command, and also others. So, and I believe Lieutenant General already has those charisma, capability, open the policy, and wherewithal to bring to bear his wealth of experience. So I think we are expecting much, and I believe he's going to give us the best, just like his predecessor said, So I think he's a man to watch. He's a man we believe can live up to expectation. I think at this time, Mr. President did the best thing by elevating him to the position of Chief of Defense Staff. Now that he's going to be in charge of the entire military, entire defense forces, armed forces, I think both Army, Navy, Air Force are going to have it well under Lieutenant General Oluyede as Chief of Defense Staff.
Right. Now let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. My name is Oluyede.
Oh, good morning, baby. Very well, thank you, baby.
My name is I just our girl this today. I want to let the show show the servitude with the problem, because we are beginning to hear this thing where our people, Gallat Army or Gallat soldier, when we get police, they go feed. They say that from above. We get to fight these people where they are dealing with innocent people killing us. They say that from above. They cannot shoot, they cannot do anything. We want to know who be the order from above. And if they get these people arrested, all these Boko Haram, they say let they put them for prison. Now Nigerian money will still take the feed them. But innocent people, when they don't do anything, they go for prison there. Who be but they know they get equipment to fight these people. You can see the gun where these people take, they fight our soldier, our police. Why our police cannot get that gun? And I want to beg our president, please, may you buy equipment where these people will take deal with these people, because a human identity. How can you kill human being? You come, you say you be respect Boko Haram, they will still build the cause for our society, and now they will see the carry information they give. If our police want to take action, order from above, they say make them no shoot. Who is the order from above? We want to know. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you, BB. BB blessing right there has come from the place of the standard operating system. I mean, hope that with Olufemi Oluyede coming in, there will be a change in operation. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Welcome, Honorable Edwards.
Yeah,
awesome. Talk to us, Honorable.
Yeah. The truth, see, remember that let me say, our guest has spoken well. Let's look at it the other way around. It was a rumor that a coup was to take place. Before then, was there any changes? Before the coup, before that particular rumor? There was not. So, look, let me tell you something. We will continue saying this thing. The practical aspect of what is happening in Nigeria is that. And Nigeria, I am not encouraging coup. It's not good. It's not a good thing. As a politician, it's against me. Because we know democracy. But let's be honest to ourselves. And as an APC member, I am saying clearly, can Nigeria celebrate a coup? If it has actually taken place, can Nigeria celebrate it? Why is it that this thing was done? The change of this thing was done. We are not free. We are not. We are. Some of us are above 50. So we are used to the system. You can't tell me that it was not because of the coup. I am telling you, if there was no plan to take over, there was this hypothesis that a coup was to take place, and immediately they changed this thing. Now, if the chief minister Musa is not good, but the information in a situation where there are things like this, definitely someone must suffer. So he is suffering for that. The change of security is not because the coup is not because.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We're with you.
It's not because they are not doing their work. They are doing their best. But all the same, let's look at what we have made. We need to change. Our leaders need to change. People are dying on streets. People are, in fact, it's not easy for someone to eat twice in a day. So when they hear things like this, they celebrate it.
All right.
It's affecting some of us who are politicians who are planning to even lead this country. So the leaders should take note that this is not what is happening in this country. Can result to anything.
Right.
Can result to anything.
Right.
Which is not good.
All right, Honorable, for want of time.
Yes.
Thank you.
Appreciate.
Thank you very much.
Honorable, right there. I mean, saying that if there was no rumored coup, would we have had, all of these changes? And, Omar, that also brings me back, to recall, some time ago where, is it the House of Reps, a member of the House of Reps had spoken to the House saying, if we don't do something about what is going on in the country, if we don't handle insecurity, if we don't provide food security for the people, that the people will revolt. And when they do, it will be out of our hands. Now, this is not hearsay. This is not hearsay. This is something that was on national television, so the appropriate authorities can go and fact check. Right? He said that, and he said that clearly, that if we continue this way and nothing is being done, that the country will be thrown into chaos and that the people will revolt. He said it.
I actually can recall that,
Right.
Scenario. However, this is a very, very delicate situation. And recall also that the very beginning of this conversation, as I said, when I asked Comrade, the first question, I did tell him that I was going to ask him some other questions that centers around, very strong and delicate, speculations that actually made the rounds over the weekend. But as a security expert, the thing is, just like he rightly mentioned, we cannot, stress this issue any further, especially for the fact that there was no official statement to corroborate, the claims that there was actually a coup plot. And also we've seen the presidency react to, this claims and why it actually decided to shake up, the cabinet or the security cabinet. According to the presidency, this has nothing to do with the rumored coup plot. It is a move, or was a move rather, as it were, to inject new direction into the armed forces.
Right.
And something about Comrade Salihu not holding, brief for him, but over time we've actually asked him are you privy to this information? Could you please let us in and all of that? But this is a very delicate issue, and it's just okay for for us to just put it to rest, especially coming from a security analyst, that there is nothing in that regard going on.
Well, Comrade Salihu, are you there?
We are.
Yes,
Live.
quite a number of Nigerians expressed their thoughts. Family members, have also expressed their thoughts. BB Blessing saying that this should not only be a change in name and office, but this change must be materialized in the lives of Nigerians. In other words, it must have a physical impact, it must have a social impact, it must also have a bearing on our psychology. psychology rather. I mean, because we are saying that, look, what impact is this going to make, this change going to make in military leadership on the morale of the military personnel and even the broader public? And how will the change in military leadership affect the safety and security of military personnel and civilians in conflict zones? You know, these are very vital questions the Nigerians are asking. And we're saying that beyond the change in name, beyond the change in office, we want to see that change in actuality.
Well, Uduak, you know, as analysts, we hold brief for generality of people within and outside the country.
Yes.
So we are expected to talk as responsible people of the society with accuracy and facts. You see, I don't succumb to T-joint rumors.
Right.
It is the day the military authorities bring out document that yes, there was an attempted coup and these are the officers involved and we are going to set up inquiry to do this that we believe. So anybody is entitled to his or her opinion. The way somebody that just go to take Okpa on the street, drink tea or enter a taxi we talk is not the way we talk. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Our words are words on marble. People go, we are role models to people. So like I emphasize, I'm not trying to hold brief for the federal government, but until the state apparatus make their official announcement to that effect. Then beyond that, what expectations should we have on these service chiefs? You see, whether we like it or not, sometimes the change of higher echelons of the security affects positively because the moment you change them, order of their subordinates, they get more serious.
Okay.
Are you getting my point?
Right.
If the best they are putting in is arithmetical term, they will be afraid and put it in geometrical term. That, if the chief of army staff could be changed, chief of defense staff could be changed, chief of naval staff, well, who am I as GOC and this? Then it motivates them further. Are you getting my point?
Right.
Then it brings in their best also. So it normally have positive consequences and effects. So I think our expectation is that they live up to these facts because at this point in time, even though you see, sometimes we talk, we shoot out of range. Nigerians have also forgotten that it is not the constitutional responsibility of the members of armed forces on internal security. It's the public, the police, to our extension, DSS, security and civil defense and others. Their own primary mandate and role is to defend the territorial integrity of the country, for the army through the land, for the air force through the air, for the navy through the maritime waters. Are you with me?
Right.
That is why you call them military and defense forces. But once it escalates, they come in. So all these things they are doing is complementing the efforts of the police because the police is underfunded, the police is ill-equipped. Even with the larger specialized squad with PMF, Special Tactical Squad, Intelligence Response Team, Special Forces, Counter-Terrorism Unit, Special Protection Unit, all stuff that, this and that. Where the police to be up and doing in terms of proper funding, proper weapons. The military will have been in the barracks, carrying out their defense roles. Where they are supposed to be involved is when there are external aggressors. Maybe another country wants to come in and fight Nigeria. Are you with me? But internally, it ought to be the responsibility of the police, complemented by DSS, civil defense, and also other internal security apparatus. Are you with me?
So what's your final thoughts in all of these?
My final thought is we want the Chief of Defense Staff to use his wealth of experience to ensure that the entire defense forces get the best during his tenure, and that way we can cope insecurity. It should the same thing extend to the Chief of Army Staff, Naval Staff, the Maritime Waters for Naval Staff should be his priority because it appears some of the ISWAP and Boko Haram terrorists regroup in Baga waterways, which is the Chad region and also other. So the Chief of Naval Staff has a lot of enormous tasks ahead of him. The Chief of Air Staff should also further capacitate the air component wing of Operation Fasayama and others because they are doing their best. I believe from where his predecessor stopped, he will continue from there. Thank you very much.
Just before you go, some messages came in from the family members. This one is coming from James from Suleja. Right now, James is saying, good morning to the guest and every other person in the studio. Thank you, James. Lieutenant General Oluyede was the Chief of Army Staff and now Chief of Defense Staff. while the Chief of Defense Intelligence retained his position. Sir UD, we have seen time and time again defense intelligence failure, most especially in recent attacks in the Northeast, where these insurgents invaded military formations, and we saw surveillance videos showing these terrorist attacks without these formations being alerted. We have seen soldiers lament and complain about military intelligence. Brigadier General Tucker Gusau, a representative of the DHQ, mentioned on October 4 that 16 officers were being investigated for disciplinary issues and breaches of service protocols. Inasmuch as we want to be politically correct, by waiting for official confirmation, the statement from the Defense Headquarters is clear enough. If this was truly in the interest of security overhaul in the light of insurgency, the change would have involved the military intelligence. With the sack of these service chiefs, over 60 military generals will have to force out of the military, as is the tradition. All right? That's what James is saying. And Turkenby is saying that, okay, well, Turkenby, let's leave this matter to rest already. But thank you, far too kind. Anyways, that's what James is saying, all the way from Suleja right there. But thank you, far too kind, for bringing your voice in on this one. And we always appreciate your resolution, in these kinds of conversation and the new insights that you bring on the table of discourse as we go conversational. Appreciate that from you. Well, this is where we will call it a close, though. We also want to appreciate you for being a part of this. If it is called a rumor, there is a reason it's called a rumor. Until an official statement is out, please leave it be where it is, all right? Because these are very, very delicate matters. And if it is supposed to be classified, if it's still in the works, an investigation is ongoing, leave it be that way, all right? Until whatever it is that is hidden will come out to limelight, because it always does. It always does.
Well, it's been an insightful conversation. I honestly wish that we can even drag it a little further, but time is not our friend. And once again, we'd like to say a very big thank you to Comrade Saliu Mahmoud Dantata for always lending his voice to, discussions like this. We'd like to state very clearly that the views expressed on the show this morning were not influenced by Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja. Coming up at the top of the hour is